Okay, today we're going to have a look at the shape of distribution. So we've been looking at various types of graph which visually allow us to have a look at the shape or range or spread distribution of data. And so what we're going to look at today is we're going to have a look and see how we describe them. Now, the textbook from Cambridge in year 10 anyway has only really got talking about symmetrically or skewed. Symmetric means that when you look about the middle, both sides look the same. So we've got a middle point here, the left side and the right side look the same, or the mode, if you find the mode first. So if we find the mode in this one, is here we can see that there's a longer what's called tail on the right hand side, and that is called positively skewed. So when there's a longer tail on the right hand side, it's positively skewed. And the reason for that, the reason it's called positively skewed, if you can imagine we started at this one and then we had a couple of data points all the way up here, that would extend it out. And what those couple of big points that would do would increase our average or our mean that way. And so we usually think that if our mean, our average increases, we get more, then that's positive. If we've got less, it's negative. And that's the reason for the other one being called negative. So again, there's our mode. The tail is on the left-hand side, so it's called negatively skewed. And again, if we were to form that from the other one, then we would get it by having some lower scores added if this started off symmetrical, if this started off something like that, and then we've got a few extra scores being added, it would mean that our average would decrease. So we'd be adding the extra score, so it's negatively skewed. Anyway, so today all we're going to do is have a look, and all of the ones you do are either going to be positively skewed or negatively skewed, and you're just going to choose positive or negative. Chunk one is just going to be about actually identifying them. Chunk two, you're going to have to make some distributions yourself and then identify them. Now, so here is the descriptor from the worksheet. We'll see in a moment. Positive favours lower values. So if our tail is to the right, then what we've got is we have got a positively skewed. We can draw a line across the top of all these things. So we draw our line across the top, and that's what gives us our shape. So if the tail is to the right, it's positive. If the tail is to the left, it means that we've had some additional low scores added, you might say, and so it is negatively skewed. Now, that is it for tomorrow's sheet. You're going to look at symmetrical and bimodal. So in tomorrow, you're going to have this symmetrical type stuff, and you're going to look at it. Today, you're only looking at, they're all going to be positive or negatively skewed, and you're just going to identify them. Okay, so having a look at our sheet, we're going to have here, what you need to do is just need to colour in whether it's positively or negatively skewed. So this first one is like that. Our tail is to the left. If our tail is to the left, it means we have it negatively skewed. This next one, box plot, I'll let you go, simply the same. This one here has a tail to the right. So you might imagine that we've added some really good scores over here. We've added some high scores. So that is positively skewed. Okay, so what you need to do is you just need to go through these. Once you've got them, draw your shape over the top of them each time to give yourself a distribution that you can then look at and work out. Find out where the mode is each time and see whether you've got more. If you're looking for the tail, then it's going to have more data points or longer, so to speak. Just the length is going to be whichever one's length is higher. So that length is higher on the left. If it's higher on the left, it is. You work it out. Okay, so we'll do them. You've got 8. You've got 21 of those to do. And then the second chunk, I'm going to come back and we'll have a look at displaying the frequency and table and distribution, and then commenting on the shape.